things I would have to say was when I was leading and managing the internal comms project for Menarini. So Menarini is a biopharmaceutical company, and they approached us for a training program and also to help them out with their comms strategy, because they were undergoing change management. So essentially they needed media, so my team, to come up with video, frequently asked questions, sheet, fact sheet about what is the whole change management process and why they are doing it, and also a speech, several speech guides for their general manager, and also I can't remember, but I think it's the group CEO in Singapore. So we only had 6 weeks to execute the entire thing, from the coming up with the video concept to scripting to storyboarding and writing up all the materials to the video launch as well. So, and as some of you might know, the media team is very small, and it was literally just me, my TV editor, and then also my publishing editor working on it. And what I really appreciate about being in Leaderonomics is that I think my bosses believed in me, that they gave me lead for the project, and they entrusted me with that responsibility of handling this project, despite the fact that I had close to zero experience in project management and video production. So I'll tell you about one or two things that happened during the project. So one is I had to meet the client during the initial stages without the presence of my bosses, because either they were tied up with something or there was just something in the way. So I had to sit in a room with the HR manager, the sales manager, the procurement manager, and I had to carry myself in a way that they can trust me. I had to propose ideas without risking over-promising and under-delivering. Okay, so everything was fine. Thankfully, I had a lot of support from my bosses. There were the few hiccups that happened along the way. Was one, I underquoted the price of the video for the initial proposal that we went out. And you know why? It's because I missed one of the client's emails, and that email actually specified the details that they wanted in the video. And so because of that, when you underquote a video price, that means you're not going to make money, and so my editor, she came up with a solution. Okay, maybe we can take some of the cost revenue from our editorial team and plug it into the TV team to cover the cost. So that was our solution. Second thing that happened, our SD card, which had the recording for the general manager, was corrupted. And this happened just one and a half weeks before the video had to go out. So we had to do a reshoot, had to do the editing and gain approval all in just a span of a week. Okay, so how we resolved it, right? So for the SD card, what we did was, the first thing I did when I found out from my TV editor that the SD card is gone was figure out ways, or is there ways to retrieve that corrupted file. And finally there was nothing we could do. We had no choice but to reshoot. Second thing was to actually tell the client that we have to reshoot, we have to book your dates again. So that was that. The third thing was to face the general manager and actually admit the mistake that we made. And the fourth thing was we had to do all of these things in less than a week. Okay, so what I learned from this entire process is I learned what it was to be a leader. So even though the mistake wasn't entirely mine, but I finally understood what it meant to be in my boss's shoes, to take responsibility for other people's mistakes. And lastly, always remember to read through your emails thoroughly. Yes, I know we can all be so caught up in the busyness of things that sometimes we are trying to be at our, on top of everything. But when it comes to clients, just always remember to just read through thoroughly and understand what exactly they want. So in my case, I was a bit lucky, because even though initially we underquoted, right, for the first proposal that went out, we could hike up the price after that once the client had confirmed the video concept. So thank God for that. So yeah, just remember to be very careful make sure you have enough information before you quote a price, and make sure you always also discuss with your bosses. Don't do it on your own.